Lamba sahab, again, welcome.
Thank
we
you,
come
sir.
to the third segment. And as I recall, when we were in school and in our childhood days, there was absolutely no difference between Sikhs and Hindus. We all used to live in our native place also, like one family. And there was a choice given. If the elder son wanted to become a Sikh, he very proudly he used to become a Sikh and follow all the teachings which you have mentioned about from the gurus and followed Sikhism. So it was but now here in Canada we see there seems to be a little divide and a lot of false propaganda goes on, and the fear is the next generation which will come up here, second generation of Indians who have settled here, they might think differently. There will be more divide. So I think how can we reverse that, win them over with love, and make them feel that it's all one community, we should live in harmony as one Indo Canadians?
Well, Surindher, I fully appreciate what you're saying, but let's be very clear. As I said earlier, it's a process of evolution. The Christians came out of the Jews, and now there is no love lost between them. Sikhs have come out of Hindus, and luckily there was very close relationship with them.
Yes.
And at one time, in Punjab at least what used to happen, the eldest son would be made a Sikh, and the three youngest would remain, or four youngest or whatever, would remain Hindus. So there was a give and take. My own wife's uncles are Hindus. So it was accepted thing that one son can be Hindu, the other son can be a Sikh.
True.
So there was no problem. The real problem started when people started to exploit them and exploit the religion for selfish purposes.
Yes.
If you are aware that in Amritsar, for example, 80% of the people who go to Golden Temple are not Sikhs. 80%. Yes. 80% are non-Sikhs, out of them 79% are Hindu. It would happen nowhere, but in Amritsar, no family thinks that their day has started and they have not gone to the Golden Temple.
Yes.
Now, as you were saying, and I agree with that, here the situation is different, and that there are two reasons for that. As there is no Khalistan in Punjab, but there is a Khalistan only in the minds of the people in Brampton and in Vancouver.
Yes.
So that has percolated to the social level. Then the false stories spread by the interested parties, like genocide, have created a certain sense of alienation. And the younger generation is very impressionable. When they hear their uncles and aunts and fathers and brothers and sisters talking about that, and they have no means of verifying whether that is right or they are helpless, so they'll be carried away by that. Secondly, the Gurdwaras are playing a very nasty role.
True.
When I go to Gurdwara and I see the photographs of the terrorists being idolized, that sends a wrong message. Thirdly, the teaching has started differently. There was a time when the Sikhs would not object to anything, say Ram, and now when I was talking to somebody, I said, how can you object to Ram or Krishna? Ram is used 600 times and Krishna is used more than 1,000 times. He said, nay, this Ram was different. He was not Dasharatha's son. I said, what nonsense you are talking about? The situation is salvageable.
Yes.
And there are two ways to do. One is to create a feeling in the mind of the elderly people that, look here, compare your life here with the life back home when you were friendly with the non-Sikhs. You had no problem at that time. So why the problem now with the Hindus? Then in the Sikh religion there is a word Sajdari. The people who shave off are clean shaven. They can still be Sikhs, but they can be Sajdari Sikhs. Secondly, the younger generation has to be taught. And here, the Sikh leadership would not take any action. Let me be very frank with you. They are so motivated and so blinded that they will not do anything. But the non-Sikh organizations, Indian organizations can do that. Invite the Sikh students and the Hindu students for interactive meets.
Yes, very important.
Okay? When the interactive meets are there, and then discuss the issue threadbare. So take up one issue. For example, the marriage. How the evolution took place from the revolving around the Agni to the revolving around the Guru Granth. And what changed there and why did it happen? Then the concept of turban. The turban is not only prerogative of Sikhs.
My grandfather used to wear turban also.
Gujaratis wear it, Haryanvis wear it, Rajputs wear it, Tamilians wear it. So, what's wrong with that? The only thing is difference. So, these things have to be explained to the younger generation, both of Hindus and Sikhs. So, that's what is required is an interactive meet at a very small level. I mean, say you can have 10 children of one community, 10 children of other community, 20 children, have 3 hour discussion with them and have it on a continuous basis. Every week, the groups keep on changing and then, repeat it. The same first group, repeat after 6 months. Or then mix up the groups. That way, the hatred would be viable because the base of hatred is 2.
Yes.
One is the ignorance, other is the fear.
Yes.
Let them know it that Sundar Sharma or his father was not responsible for killing the uncle in Tulokpuri.
Yes.
Let them also know that Sundar Sharma's father and his grandfather, they were close friends and they played together in the streets of Punjab.
Yes.
That sense of identity will bring out a change in them. And that's what I see. Interactive meets, discussions, and once a communication starts, all the boundaries are demolished.
And I feel that even the Indo Canadian other community
Definitely
has to play a little proactive role.
As a matter of
Not
fact,
just leave the situation like this, it's happening. If you are putting a resolution and we sit quiet,
No.
but we have to look into the whole thing and dig into it and build relations with them with love.
it has to be proactive approach.
Thank you very much. We hope in the coming years we'll have more harmony
Let's hope so.
and cooperation.
Let's
Thank
hope
you.
so.
Thank you.